What's up, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla stock and then talk about the new models that just came out. Just know that I am not a financial planner. So, as far as Tesla's going, we got a rejection so far, and we also have a head and shoulders like pattern that has been developing. The share price kind of like pumped yesterday when this news came out about the new Model Y that was going to be coming out, but then we dumped today even after the news had come out. So, we got a big move down as we failed to hold 440, and there's a gap to fill which could take us down to the low 430s. So what's going on? Tesla has announced the new Model Y standard and the new Model 3 standard. These are their most affordable vehicles. They have ultra low costs of ownership, engineered for safety, and they come with the best Tesla features. They have 321 miles of range, which is fantastic. Extreme efficiency that takes you further. It also saves you money, minimal maintenance, and the car can drive itself without your active supervision. So that's some great stuff that's coming out. It comes with a screen that has Tesla Arcade video games and very cool things for entertainment. Lots of safety features from Sentry mode and many other protections. There's also like the dog mode. Once again, you could use it in a lot of different ways and awesome stuff such as like the Sentry live camera view and other cool features. So here are some pictures of it. So let me just click on these. So this is what it's going to look like, right? I think this is the Model Y standard. It has like the thin headlights, looks very, very sleek. Then you also have another picture on the other side. I think this one is the Model 3 because you could tell by the headlights and the overall design. And so they're basically announcing two of them, right? This is what the interior would look like. Very nice looking, very, very good user interface right over here. And then, this is like someone taking it camping or doing something else with it. Then they also announced this video right over here. The video just kind of like shows it like moving. It doesn't really give us any more information. Just people kind of like walking around with it as it could be charged and such. But it's just going over like the features which I just named essentially. It says design yours. So you have the Model Y standard, the Model 3 standard. You have two links here. So this is what it looks like. This is for the Model Y. So you have the standard version. We're going to click on this. This has like rear wheel drive, by the way. It comes at $40,000 is the base price for the Model Y. 321 miles of range, the top speed of 125 miles per hour, and it goes 0 to 60 in 6.8 seconds, which is not bad. And then if you also look at this, you have different colors. You have, this pearl white coat that you could get it in. I think this is going to cost an extra $1,000 though. And then diamond black is also about 1,500. But the stealth gray color, this is going to be included with the base price of $40,000. Then you have other features. You could also like adjust the wheels and such. Very cool. Very, very cool stuff. And then you also have right over here the even more affordable one, which is going to be the Model 3 standard. The Model 3 standard also has 321 miles of range, 125 mph is the top speed with the 5.8 second 0 to 60 time, which is quite good. And then you also have the stealth gray color, which is the default. It comes with the price. I think that's the same, pearl white multi coat is going to cost an extra 1,000. The diamond black is like 1,500 more. And then besides that, it has like the same features we've been talking about. It's cool that FSD is like fully incorporated in this, though. I think that's very, very awesome. This is what like the Model 3 version looks like. So very, very cool stuff. Very, very awesome in my opinion. Can't wait to see what else this leads to, at least for Tesla moving forward. I think I went over most of these pictures, so this would be like the Model Y standard. Very, very awesome design, and because it's more affordable, I think this could be very big for Tesla, especially in the US. This could help their sales, and we'll see how this ends up doing. But that is a good piece of news, in my opinion. Today, we did get the consumer inflationary expectations data. This was a little bit up, which shows that there is a risk of higher inflation and some fears about that. I think that's part of why the market ended up dipping a little bit. And then there was some talk by the Fed about the labor market and why the Fed has to be very cautious. So, what's happening to Tesla? Let's actually break this down. So, Tesla needs to get back above this level right here. One problem is that we have kind of like a head and shoulders, but we need to get back above essentially this 445 area at the very least to try to see a bigger bounce. Reclaim 445, then we could be turning back up to the highs. If we fail, There is that risk of the gap fill. Don't forget there's a gap down here. I don't think we fully filled the gap yet. So if we kind of like bounce a little bit, retest 440, and we can't break past that, there's still a risk of us coming down to fully fill this gap in the low 430s are very possible. This was also kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event. We pumped yesterday approaching the big announcement that Tesla has a new affordable Model Y or something coming out. Instead, they announced two standard models that are going to be more affordable. And as soon as the news comes out, Tesla just dumps. So it is what it is, guys. We just have to accept it the way it is. Despite that, SPY dumped and also is trying to bounce right now. We're going to see if we could reclaim 670 or not. It's trying to rebound. So let's see about that. If we fail at 668, though, there's going to be a risk of 665. It's trying to push for that key level. The QQQ is also looking for essentially 606 and might try to bounce for 605 and 606. We came down and filled the gap over here. Now we're trying to bounce a little bit. If we bounce a bit, can we get another rejection? We'll have to see about that. We could be looking for a 605 retest. The IWM is looking for 245, then eventually 246. It didn't dump that much. If we lose 243, it dumps more, but as of right now, it's trying to get bought back up. ES is trying to hold its 50 EMA. It might be retesting 67.71, and we'll see if it rejects. May see a small bounce towards that level, and as long as we don't lose 67.50, we could bounce a bit. NQ is also trying to bounce near 24,978. We have resistance at 25,000, so we'll see if we push a bit, then we'll see what kind of reaction we get from there. Bitcoin has support at 120,500. We have resistance at 123,067. Might bounce a bit, then we'll see what happens from there as well. Once again, Tesla's making lower highs, looking pretty weak. The low 430s are very possible, so we'll see what ends up happening. Nvidia is on a bit of a downtrend. We're going to see if we reclaim 186. If not, we could be dipping back down towards 183. Aapl is kind of like in the middle. We have this resistance right here around this 257 area, and we have support down here at 255. May push for 257.5 or above, and we'll see what happens from there. Real quick, Palantir is still bullish. Could be retesting 184 or above. It's still holding up quite well. AMD, like we said earlier, it's holding up well. We held at 200. We could try to continue to uptrend for 220. Again, it still holds up quite nicely. We dumped quite a bit on Coinbase. Now we're bouncing. If we lose 368, we're bearish. If we're above it, we could try to bounce back up to 382. This is trying to bounce. Amazon could be going for essentially 222.75 for a temporary bounce. Meta has like a double bottom here. If we end up losing 707, we're dumping. But if we could hold the 710 zone, we're looking for essentially 720. Google looks decent, although we're dipping right here. We could retest 246 and we'll see if we bounce or not. So give this the time it needs. And finally, Microsoft. If we lose 520, we're going to be dumping a lot more. We're going to see if we bounce near 520 though. If as long as we hold 520, I could see 526 all over again. On the VIX, we pumped quite a bit, but here's the thing. As the VIX has touched 17.5 rejected, 17.25 rejected in the past. Now we've touched around 17.5. Are we about to get a rejection on the VIX? Will the market bounce from here? It is very possible. It tries to push a bit more. So we'll see how it goes. But Tesla, on the other hand, is still kind of weak compared to the markets, and there is still that risk of that 430 zone to fill this gap before it may attempt to bounce again. But overall, there is weakness in Tesla stock after this event. This oftentimes happens after big events. Like, for example, when they announced their deliveries, we pumped to 480, then just collapsed. We saw a big dump in Tesla. We also pumped again yesterday approaching this news. And then as soon as the news comes out about this, the new model launches, we just dump. So it is what it is. But overall, this is still a great news for Tesla's long term. I think that these new models could help them in a lot of different ways. And I wish Tesla the best, at least nothing more, nothing less. Nonetheless, we just wish them the best. We want them to continue to improve, and I think that this could really help their sales. With that being said, I thank you all so much for listening. Please have an awesome rest of your guys' days. I'll be back and I'll be going over more details about their models and such in a couple of hours. Until then, take care and peace out.